Hi and hello everyone. Welcome to Pop and Culture number 23. I'm Adrian,
I'm Jay.
and we're here for another week of beer drinking, comic reviewing, and talking about TV that should not exist. Let's talk about first a beer that should not exist.
Well, that's our thought so far.
So
We haven't tried it yet.
What are we drinking, brother?
So we mentioned this on the show last week, and we got it with us this week. This is the Blonde American Lager from Guinness.
Yes.
Guinness, famous for their Irish beer.
So one thing, I first got destroyed when I read this portion. Finest Mosaic Willamette American hops, brewed and bottled by Guinness Brewing Company, Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
But I'm pretty sure that all the Guinness that we drink here in the States comes from there. Because that's a normal thing. You've got your recipe, you send it over, and whatever brewery in that area does it.
So I know we have two different Guinnesses. I know one is still from Ireland. So I'm wondering if we have one from Ireland, the other one isn't.
Maybe.
Because here's the thing. I feel like it's like pizza. Like in New York, they say it's different because the water and the dough, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe the same thing.
Maybe.
So we'll give this a shot. As I mentioned, the yeast is still I'm sorry, I didn't mention these. I mentioned the hops. The yeast is still Guinness yeast. So let's see what happens.
That's right. I do have a glass.
I saw you going for that
I'm
bottle out
just
of the
so
corner of my
used
eye.
to, know.
I'm already not liking the color.
Because it's golden?
Because it's golden.
Looks more like a harp than a Guinness.
Which, like as we mentioned, they have a ale like that. It's called Harp.
But it's an Irish lager. It's not an American lager. All right, here we go. I don't hate it. It's obviously not your typical Guinness stout, but that's because it's not a stout.
I don't hate it. I don't love it. I will make a couple comments on it really fast that you guys probably can't see. Jay, you can see. See all the little tiny bubbles coming up? It's actually a mark of quality.
Yeah.
Much like champagne, if it's a single thread of small beads constantly coming up instead of large ones, it's a sign of quality. So at least it is a well-crafted beer. I'll give them that because that is what's going on with the carbonation at the bottom. I would rather drink a Harp.
Well, yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I'd rather drink a Bass.
True.
It is better than a Coors Original,
Oh, by far.
but not better than Red Hook's Blonde.
I don't know the last time I had Red Hook's Blonde, so I don't know. Usually if I'm drinking Red Hook, I'm drinking either a Black Hook
Delicious.
or an ESB.
Also delicious. No, so I'll drink it. Not as good as the beer we had with our dinner.
No, that was very good.
Right?
I don't remember
was
what it was
the
now.
Northwest Brewing Company's Joker Amber Ale.
Right. Based out of Pacific, Washington.
And it's super good. In fact, I've had this beer numerous times out at the same restaurant, and every time I'm like, I gotta tell Jay to get this. I gotta tell Jay to get this. Finally, we're at the Alderwood Mall, and I'm like, oh, fuck, let's go. Let's just go get it.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I like this too. This is obviously, if I was going to go to the store to get a Guinness, I would get a Guinness Stout. But this is not a bad lager. This is definitely better than most of the lagers that are on the market.
Sure, I'll give you that. It's not my beer style of choice, so I'm
No.
not huge into it. I would not buy this myself.
No.
But if I went to someone's house and they said this is all I got,
I'd drink it.
slightly begrudgingly, but yes, I would drink it. After judging them for why is that your only beer?
Yeah,
Unless
that's
they're-
true. If I went to somebody's house and all they had was like, hey, you want a Guinness Blonde? I'd be like, what the fuck is your problem?
The only way I would accept that is if we literally were there the night before, we woke up still slightly hungover, and I wanted a beer, and that's like, oh guys, everything I drink but this Guinness Blonde. Then I can't judge them for that.
You know what would go really good with this, though?
Please say
actually?
Hurricanes.
No, but we will
Oh.
get to that. Typically, what you drink with a lager is pizza.
Yeah, I would.
This would go. I think the body of this and the crispness of it would go really good with pizza.
I was thinking pretzels, but I'm with you on the pizza as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is definitely a beer and pretzels kind of beer. Yeah. It's definitely not as filling as most craft brews that we drink.
Do you think this is Guinness's attempt to get in with the bro crowd?
Oh my gosh. No, I think bros like Guinness.
I don't think they do. I think bros like Bud Light.
Well, bros really like Paps.
Well, yeah, but if they're gonna go for a high caliber, They spent
So
that extra
this-
12 cents.
This is so Pabst here, Rainier, Bud Light, Guinness Blonde. Is that the hierarchy?
And somewhere down there towards the bottom's beer 30.
This is simpler times.
Yeah, but no, it's all right. It was expensive though.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what bothers me.
it
Like
was on sale, a 6-pack for $9.50.
no. See, already I'm out.
Yeah, because I think a 6-pack of regular Guinness is only like $8, right?
Yeah.
So we're paying more.
For a worse beer.
Fucking America. Guinness got it right.
Boo. What?
The shitty things cost more.
How American of them.
Right? Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Okay, now we got to talk about hurricanes. 'cause you
Oh
brought
my
it up.
god. So Jay and I were in San Francisco this weekend at the Walker Stalker, which we'll talk about that convention as well. And it was Sunday night. We wrapped up. We were there for work purposes, and I was super stressed at the end of that day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure I gained like 45 pounds in 7 minutes and lost all my hair. The next morning, everything balanced out.
Yeah.
But that stress really worked me over. So we got done, and somebody wanted crab.
Right. We were pretty much on Fisherman's Wharf in San Fran. So everyone's like, seafood, that's what you got to have.
And-
at least once.
And that's what we did. We went to a Joe's Crab Shack, which is a chain. We know what you're saying. You also have those in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, probably.
Maybe.
But this one was like, they even said, like, this is what the fresh crab we have is. This is what's not fresh. This is what we got. So food was really good.
Yeah.
Totally happy with my meal. More importantly, totally happy with our beverages.
Oh, so we went in there and we're like, all right, we'll see what beer's on tap, whatever. Which we asked, and it was
did.
not a great selection.
It was
I mean, they had a couple logos. They had Anchor on tap, but then it was like Bud Light and Coors Light and
Blue Moon.
yeah. So then one of the other people with us was looking at the drink menu, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what is this? This drink says you can only have 2 of these." And all of a sudden we're like, "We're in. Whatever it is, we're in."
So I love that was our deciding factor.
Yeah, it wasn't what was in it. It was just that we could only have 2 of them.
This thing is so alcoholic. You're limited to 2. Oh, I fucking challenge accepted, Joe's Crab Shack, and succeeded. Thank you.
And surpassed.
Fuck yeah, we did. So it's got Bacardi 151, Myers Dark Rum, and I can't remember the other booze, but there's like 2 others.
I think there was like a vodka in there. I think it was only one other thing, but then it was like a pomegranate, like 2 fruit juices also.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so essentially, imagine it's a Long Island iced tea with stronger alcohol content alcohol. So we order a round, and I downed mine instantly.
You did, yeah. I was trying to nurse mine a little bit, but
No, I think my first one was down within 6 minutes. And then we got the second round.
4 out of
Most
the 5 of us.
4 of the
There's
5 got
5
the
of us
second.
there. One person didn't even make it through a full one.
No, but don't worry. I finished it off for him. So we were halfway. We just finished our meal. He got a text message, got up and left like instantly. As soon as he knew I was paying and that he didn't have to stick around, he got that text message and he bolted.
Yeah, he's like, all right, thanks, guys.
So he mentioned he was drunk and he got a. I'm hoping it was a booty call.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
good for him.
Right?
So I mean, he left about a third to a quarter
Yeah.
of his hurricane. So I went and took care of that. We got another round. Then we got the third round.
Yeah. Our server was like, as long as you don't tell me you've had 2, I will forget how many I put in front of you.
And he did. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
So
Should we have? They don't. We're good. Never mind.
yes, Joe himself is listening
Joe's
to
like,
this.
hold on, let me call this. I hear you're over serving, Josh.
Seriously, guys, if you're in San Francisco, Joe's Crab Shack, ask for Josh. Get like all the hurricanes you can handle. You're gonna have a headache in the morning. It's normal.
Yeah.
So he brings us 5, thinking that the 5th guy's still there when he's gone. So we finished that one. So in essence, I had 3.5,
I had 3 1/4.
and then we made a crucial mistake when we got back to the hotel room.
Yeah, we had more whiskey.
We had whiskey.
Yeah.
The bottle was there. It had to get finished.
Right, we had to finish it because we were flying out in the morning. Or
Can't
so
bring
we
that
thought.
with us. So let's talk. We do discuss alcohol on here. So we talked about the hurricanes. Delicious. You did not like the whiskey.
I did not. I drank it, but I did not enjoy it.
I thought it was drinkable over ice.
Which I won't drink my whiskey over ice.
And it was not good neat. I will totally give you that. Not good neat. It was Trader Joe's brand American bourbon. Single barrel, though, they claim.
They must have used a bad barrel.
I don't know what it was.
It was, to me, it just had like this very strong, it almost seemed like they tried to make it too smoky.
I was going to say, it wasn't that it was peaty. It wasn't that it was smoky. It was trying to be both at the same time.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Did not come out well. But it was there, so we had to finish it. And that was that night. So, Hurricanes. Strongly recommend.
Hurricanes were great. I'm considering trying to find the ingredients list again and try to make them for one of our future episodes. But just enough for one each.
So here's the thing. There's a Joe's Crab Shack about an hour south of here. Do you think we can get them into go cups and just bring it back up? No ice. Add the ice and it'll be good.
Now, what if we just went there with to-go cups in a bag?
Boda bag that shit.
Boda bag. There you go.
Yeah, it
Done.
is. Figured it out.
They won't pay attention.
No. So, talked about plenty of booze. I'm going to keep drinking this beer. The more I drink it, the less I like it.
Okay.
It's true. The aftertaste bothers me.
Okay.
But let's talk about TV real fast.
Okay.
What are you watching?
Well, here's the problem. I was gone for 4 of the last 7 days.
Yep.
So we recorded on Wednesday. Thursday, I watched like an episode of Arrow. And then I flew out Friday morning.
Yeah. So I left Thursday. I got back Monday. Tuesday, I was in Canada. And now I'm back again for this. And I leave again tomorrow.
Yeah. We did watch, however, while we were down there.
I was going to discuss what we watched while we were there.
You guys may remember to Boise, we got stuck watching, and by
American
stuck
Pickers.
I mean we enjoyed watching
Delightful.
some American Pickers, and I think we had a couple episodes of House Hunters.
Yep.
So while we were in San Francisco, we're like, well, let's see what's on TV. And hey, sure enough, there was some House Hunters on.
Surprise.
There was some Love It or List It. And here's the funny thing to me, is you don't typically watch those types of shows.
No, I don't.
Everybody else in our group
Was so familiar with all of that stuff.
So we didn't share a room. We had different roommates.
Yep.
But so my roommate and I showed up to your room, and my roommate's, oh, I love this show. I watch it with my wife. And then your roommate's like, yeah, this show's great. And then some of the other, like 4 or 5 of the other people that were down there with us stopped by on Sunday night, and it was on, and they're like, oh, I've seen this episode. This is great. I know what part of Toronto that's in.
All over my head.
You're just like,
Nope.
all right, they're buying a house. What's the big deal?
Don't get me wrong. I find it entertaining, but you're right. I have absolutely no focus point for those.
Right.
So we watched some of that. I did watch some other TV.
Okay.
We watched also some South Park while we were there.
Yeah. Which I'm not like I'm not somebody that would actively turn on South Park. I'll watch it if it's on, if I'm around people that have it on.
While you're there.
Yeah, we went through like 3 or 4 episodes, but I'm not really someone who's like, oh, I love South Park.
Went through some Key and Peele.
Oh, Key and Peele.
So good. I'm so upset. You walked in right after Aaron was on.
Yeah, and I didn't. So I love the
you-
original skit, and I've seen one of the follow-ups, but I didn't know it's a recurring.
Yes.
They've done like 4 or 5 of them now.
So
or something?
remember when they do the football lineups?
Yeah.
So
And that's what you're telling me.
yeah, it's Aaron. And then he names the high school from
And-
the first skit.
Now that you said it, I think I've watched that one because they've done 3 of them, including
Yes.
the one that was this year.
Yeah,
And I've watched the first 2, so I must have seen it and just didn't put it together.
it's possible. I know I have the Key and Peele Super Bowl special waiting for me at home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that while I pack up. I watched not the episode of Flash that aired this week, last week's,
Okay.
where the Pied Piper comes into play, and we are I'm gonna spoil it.
No, you're right.
100% confirmed. Harrison Wells is a Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
because we see him using the power without the suit on.
Okay.
So even though some people were like, oh, it's not him, it's just a familiarity. No, 100% confirmed it's him. Now, what we did find out, though, however, is he is siphoning the Speed Force power from Barry.
Okay.
And that's what that little tachometer that he had to get was.
Oh, okay.
But he's not siphoning it enough, so he's losing his speed.
Okay.
So I have a feeling it's going to be like the comic book. You know, he's pushing Barry to go faster. Because the faster the Speed Force he goes, the Reverse Flash then gets his speed equivalent the other way. So the more Barry produces, the more he can take.
Got it. Okay.
So we watched that, and I'm totally in on the Flash. I'm really enjoying that. There's one thing else. Oh, God. So the Colbert Report is no longer on, as you're familiar.
Did you watch the replacement show?
Yeah.
I heard it sucked.
So bad.
Yeah. And I'm not familiar with that guy, so I don't know what he's done.
He was like Stephen Colbert, was a Daily Show correspondent.
Oh, okay.
And he got his show. As a comedian, I usually find him funny. He's usually in bit roles, which I like him in those as well. But that show was bad. I went through 2 episodes this morning, and they were both just no bueno, man.
Oh.
No bueno. So, yeah.
There was another show that when we were at the airport, you were talking about starting.
The Americans.
Did you start it?
No, because I slept that whole flight.
Okay. I did find out. I don't know if it's on Netflix.
It's not.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So if you have a Prime account, you can stream through there.
I have the Netflix discs. I got the first season in, and they're on my laptop.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my tablet to watch on the next flight, hopefully. It's funny. I started them on my flight in. The opening scene is her in lingerie. I'm like, I don't know how flight appropriate this is going to be because it's an FX show, which if you remember Sons of Anarchy, there's a lot of Jack's ass in that show. A lot of his ass.
Right.
And I don't want to watch that on a flight with who knows looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
So, and when I talk to somebody else I know who's seen it, he goes, you might see a couple butts in lingerie, but that's about as bad as it gets.
Okay.
So I'll give it a shot on the next flight.
So there was actually, I realized that's not the show that we talked about at the airport coming back from
Agent
Oakland.
Carter.
Yes. Did
Agent
you start
Carter.
Agent Carter?
Again, slept on the airplane, man.
Okay.
Slept on the airplane.
I didn't know if since you've had so much free time between Monday night when we landed from Oakland.
Yeah. And driving to Canada and back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Nope, no time.
You didn't mount your tablet to your steering wheel and just go to town?
I keep wanting to buy a mount for it, and they keep telling me they don't make them. And why not? Why? Why can't I mount my tablet to my steering wheel?
I've seen one before that goes on the steering wheel. I've also seen one, where there's the mounts where you can mount your cell phone to your windshield.
Sure.
They make one that accommodates a 10.5-inch tablet.
So let's not kid ourselves. You must forget it. My car has an HDMI input. My tablet has an HDMI output. Why can't I just plug that into my touchscreen?
You'd have to root your touchscreen because your screen doesn't let you play things while you're driving, right?
The screen on my car?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that we can fix that.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe next trip to Boise, we take my car instead. That's not going to end up well.
No.
So while we were in San Francisco, we attended the Walker Stalker convention. We'll talk about that real quick. That was your first Walker Stalker?
That was my first Walker Stalker.
What'd you think?
Super weird location for it.
Yeah.
It sort of kind of gave a feel like one of the things that I kept hearing from different people is, I know you don't watch the show, but at the beginning of season 5, which is the season we're in the middle of right now, they end up at this place called Terminus, which is supposed to, they see signs all over. It's supposed to be a safe haven for anybody that's not a walker or a zombie. And it's kind of a collection of buildings like that. It was an industrial compound that they kind of turned into a safe haven. We were in an old army fort with a bunch of similar type buildings. So a lot of people were like, this is just like Terminus. So in that sense, it kind of worked with the theme.
And the fans seem to really enjoy it. And that's really cool.
But from a logistical standpoint, it was kind of weird because everything was in all these different buildings. And sometimes it wasn't clear to the attendees what building had what and that sort of thing. Like we were taking up an entire building doing what we were doing down there. And some people didn't even realize that was happening because it was separated from these other buildings. So in that sense, it was weird. But it was really cool to see some of the people that were down there. A lot of the Walking Dead cast was there.
Yep.
You had the guy that played Freddy Krueger was there.
Yeah, Robert Englund.
Yep. And he had his glove, which was cool. A couple of the Doctor Who people were there. But it was interesting. It was a little bit different experience than what I'm used to going to comic conventions.
So their show floor is completely different than what you'd get for a regular comic convention. Comic convention is usually vendor heavy,
right.
A lot of stuff. Walker Stalkers is specifically celebrity oriented, and that's that's what they're known for, and that's what people go with that expectation. So if you divide the show floor, I would say a quarter of it, via capacity wise, would be the panels and the photo ops. The other quarter would be vendors, and half is Celebrity Row.
Right.
Like, it is huge Celebrity Row.
I didn't get a chance to go into any of the other buildings to see what they looked like because I was working the whole time. But Yeah, I mean, I heard that it was very easy to just go up and talk to the celebrities.
Yep.
So I mean, that was cool.
And the show, not the show, the convention definitely focuses on that interaction with the celebrities and the guests. So if that's the kind of show you're interested in, where you go to a Comic-Con, you're like, okay, the vendors are okay, but I really just want some in-depth panels, and I really just want to meet and talk to all these celebrities, Walker Stalker is the way to go for that.
Yeah.
As long as you're zombie or horror or you're oriented.
Yep, we're gonna let that one go.
Look at horror oriented it's a lot of words.
It's a lot of ors.
A lot of ors. No movies.
No,
Too busy.
Yeah.
Comic books.
Okay.
Never too busy.
No.
So what I got is Black Vortex, Avengers 41, Star Wars number 2, Hawkeye 21, Earth 2 31, Earth 2 World's End 18, Grayson 7, Green Lantern 39, Birthright 5, Witches 4, G.I. Joe 5, and the new 52 Futures End 40.
Missed Witches. Damn it.
You missed Witches?
I just haven't downloaded it.
Oh, come on, man.
I guess I looked over that one. So I didn't get into the shop today. I didn't have time to break away from work to get down there. So I bought all my digitals for the week, and I missed Witches. So I will pick that up later tonight and read it. But for what I did get, son of a...
You clicked off the wrong thing.
I totally hit the wrong thing. That's exactly...
You can just hit your home button, too, yo.
Yeah, I know. So that's exactly what happened in my Uber ride to the airport. The guy accidentally swiped the ride as done, and I had to contact customer service to get a refund, which they did. Uber's super cool, by the way, guys. We tried Uber for the first time in San Francisco. We had a driver Friday night. We had to get to a Best Buy to pick up some
he
stuff.
was the best.
Mahmood, if you're ever in San Francisco and you get a chance to ride with Mahmood, go for it. We get in the car and the guy offers us some gum, and he's got some bottles of water in the back for us. It was great.
Like, super polite, super clean.
Yeah. Also, my driver on the way to the airport, Will, with one L, super cool. He, like I said, he accidentally... The way the drivers have their app set up is when you get in the car, they swipe to start the ride, and then when you're done, they swipe to end the ride. He forgot he'd already swiped to start it when we were walking up to the car. So out of habit, he swiped it and accidentally ended it. And there's a $5 minimum even if you only go like a block. So I got charged $5. And then when he rebooked me, since I had already demanded an Uber in the same spot, I got charged surge pricing because higher demand in the area. He submitted a ticket to Uber. The next day, I got the $5 refunded. And I got the fare reduced to what the normal rate was. And I didn't have to do anything. So, yay, Uber. So what I got this week was Batman Eternal 44, Cowl number 8. I am not doing good with this.
Still learning how to use that new tablet, huh?
Yeah. Grayson number 7, Nameless number 1, The Names number 6, and Postal number 1.
Okay. You want to first, or you want me to go first?
No, go first.
Okay. So I'm only going to talk about Future's End, but can you post a cover for me?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you all to see the cover to Avengers 41. It is the identical cover to the Ultimates number 1.
Oh, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
I haven't read this yet, but I want to really badly now.
Now, do you think that's just because of the Secret Wars?
It is, because you notice underneath it says Secret Wars. And in Avengers, they're fighting these different planets that are colliding.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
so I'm curious, are we going to fight the ultimate planet? Because I haven't read it. I'm all up to date. That's totally going to be read on my flight. I read a shit ton of comics on my flight to San Francisco. The one I'm going to be talking about is the new Future's End 40. It's a weekly title. I think I may have touched on it once or twice. I'm just kind of like bring us up to speed as quickly as possible, so I might forget a couple details, but that means they weren't that important to the 40 issues to me. So there's different story arcs that are going on that are going to eventually combine into one. So we only have 12 issues left, and the big baddie finally arrived, which is Brainiac. So the first storyline, let's go with the Batman storyline, which is how it all starts. Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond, gets sent to the past, and he wanted to get sent to our time. However, he ended up 5 years before he wants to be, so consider it 5 years in the future from where we are.
Okay.
So what's going on is Brother Eye is meshing together mechanical and humans and controlling them. Brother Eye was created by Batman and Mr. Terrific turns out Mr. Terrific got all the input and all the advice was from this AI component he wasn't aware of. We find out that's Brainiac. So Brainiac was teaching him how to make the AI to make Brother Eye to make evil.
Okay.
Much like Mumra, I think Brainiac just wakes up and says, let's do some evil. So this is definitely going to lead into Convergence. So the Batman story arc is we find out all the Titans have died. Tim Drake's the only one left surviving. He wants nothing to do with the superhero game. And obviously he's slowly getting pulled and forced back into it because his girlfriend became the new Firestorm by accident. Yeah, right?
Okay.
Cool. You with me so far?
No, but go ahead.
The other storyline is Frankenstein and Princess Amethyst.
Sorry. Is he an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. still?
No, he's fighting against Shade now.
Why not? Yeah.
So
It's Frankenstein's monster.
right. So Frankenstein and Amethyst, they realize something's going on. They go to Stormwatch, where they find out the engineer has been kidnapped, and all robotics by Brainiac become part of Brainiac. So they had to save her. As Frankenstein is dying, they take the arm off of what they thought was a dead Mr. Hawkman and put it on Frankenstein because you can add body parts to him. He's Frankenstein. Well, the nth metal in Hawkman is now screwing up with Frankenstein and killing him.
Okay.
Because the nth metal regenerates, you regenerate dead, things are just going south. So Constantine shows up to assist them. You learn that originally Constantine helped fight the parademons. So this all takes place after Earth 2 and Earth 1 melt together in a battle with Apocalypse. So I know we're all confused. I'm just trying to bring it together. Earth 2 World's End is the Apocalypse War. The way this ends is everyone going to the regular universe, which is then addressed in Earth 2 Future's End. World's End leads into Future's End. Makes a lot of sense if you think of it that way.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Constantine, to stop the parademons on Gemworld from absorbing the magic, actually traps them all on that planet. So essentially, he destroyed everyone on that planet, knowing that the parademons would kill them all, just so that they'd be trapped. So for him, it's like, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I'm going to kill these billion to save, Kajillion. So she has it out for him. We also have that Superman is no longer Superman. We don't know why. Something happened between him and Batman that he gave up being a superhero. So Shazam is rocking the Superman costume, but with a mask, so you don't know it's him. And that pretty much, I know there's a couple minor things here and there that I'm missing. Oh, Office, not minor at all. There's a character named 50 Sue.
We've touched on that character before and how it's the worst name ever.
Horrible name. Incredibly powerful. We found out where she came from. Somebody has been collecting all the DNA from all the superheroes. Earth 2 and our Earth. So he made 50 Sue out of that combination of superhero DNA. Which is why she's super powerful. Almost like a god creature. So she's just this little girl with all these superpowers. She's just batshit crazy. So finally, Lana Lane kind of puts her in her place. So she asks Lana to be her mother. Lana, knowing if she says no, she's either going to get killed by this little girl, or worse, she says yes. So now she's making Grifter pretend to be her dad. So this weird, crazy family dichotomy. Originally, she wanted to be Deathstroke's sidekick, but he ended up betraying her, so then she got Lana as the mom. All this crazy shit, but it's being tied together really well. For weekly title, I'm super enjoying it. Like every issue, I'm like, I just want to know what happens next. Because every last page just ends. I don't even know what this one ends on. I just picked it up. Ends on a cliffhanger. Like, let's see what it is. Boom, Superman finally returns, goes up against Brainiac. Cliffhanger, because for 30 issues he refused to put on the shield. Like every time I'm in.
Okay.
In.
Fantastic.
What do you got for me?
So,
Yep.
Just like you have an interesting cover comic, I have an interesting cover comic that I'm not going to review, but I'm still going to post a picture of because it fucking drives me crazy.
Oh.
So, I've been reading the names since it started. Issue 6 came out this week. And I've talked about the art style before, how it's kind of like a very, very angular, sketchy, very dramatic style. So on the cover of issue 6, which if I do this right when I edit, you will be seeing right now, you can see that most of the cover is that same typical art style, very sketchy, very angular, not realistic at all. But if you look at, and this is the main woman that's on the cover here, if you look at the center region of her, upper center, the chest, we'll just say it, it's a little bit more of a typical comic style, very over-exaggerated, very enlarged breasts.
Very refined. And here's the thing that cracks me up about it is the rest of the art, like you said, is very sketched. It's very hard. The colors are not all that smooth. They're not all that refined.
No.
But as soon as you get to her chest, great shading, great color work, great light effect. It's like they decided to have, like you mentioned before,
I'd say
just
this too.
one particular artist just photoshopped from here to here.
Yeah,
on
so
her.
it looks like the main artist did all of the cover except for that, and they had Greg Land come in and do that part.
Yeah.
So that bugs the crap out of me. I'm like, why? Obviously, that's a thing in comics to very accentuate the female assets, but you have not been doing this in this comic. So why did you choose on this cover in that very specific spot to do it?
More than that, judging by the size of her waist and the size of her assets, she should be broken in half by now. She can't sustain that much weight.
She is an FLD or FLBP. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
no, I know. I had to Google this. So there's a site out there you may be familiar with. It's the Chive.
Yeah.
If you download the Chive app, it's essentially just a bunch of picture galleries. And one of the types of galleries they have is the FLBP, the Future Lower Back Problems.
Okay.
Yeah. So according to this, she's an FLBP. Anyways, so the comic that I will be talking about, it's a new comic that just came out this week. I picked it up, issue 1, and it is called Postal. So it's kind of an interesting concept. The idea behind it is there is this town called Eden. It's in the state of Wyoming. That all the residents of Eden are criminals on the run for various things. It could be murder. It could be embezzlement. It could be whatever. They're all just criminals that are on the run from the law. The issue opens up talking about the Eden that most people are familiar with, the Eden of the Bible, the Garden of
The
Eden.
Garden of Eden.
And how it was supposed to be this perfect place, and then the serpent came, and Eden ate the apple and essentially the fruit. It's not necessarily an apple.
What?
There's people who say it's not. There's no proof there was an apple. It just says fruit,
Oh, for lords.
right? Could be a pomegranate. Could be a honeydew melon. Could be a tomato. I don't know. And brought sin into the world, and then it transitions into in this version of Eden, it's just full of sinners. Kind of a parallel there.
I'm on board right now.
Yeah. So
So far, I have new vacation plans.
right. So the town is kind of the people in charge of it is this husband and wife that want everything to be super perfect. Their son runs the post office in the town. So he's the only one that can approve incoming or outgoing transmission via mail. There's no phones or anything as far as I know. He has Asperger's syndrome, so he's a little off the normal path. So he gets this letter, an incoming letter to one of the residents, and the procedure is if the letter is damaged in any way, he's supposed to open it up, retype it, print it out, and take it to who it goes to. I don't understand why.
Maybe because he has Asperger's, it's damaged. It's not.
Well,
You know what I mean?
it's not him. It's that's the
rule?
That's the rule of the
Okay.
town.
Okay.
Super weird. But so he gets this letter, and it's from a doctor, and it's to one of the residents, and the doctor's essentially saying, "We can't send you any more Sudafed. You're gonna have to figure it out on your own. Sorry." Da da da. So the kid's like, "Oh, he must have allergies. That sucks." And he takes the letter to the guy, and the guy's a complete asshole. And then later on, he notices while he's there, he notices that the guy has red mud on his tires. He's like, "Well, that's weird because mud is supposed to be brown, and this guy has red mud, and I don't know why he has red mud. Mud's supposed to be brown, just like super Asperger's, like
Right.
everything has to be exactly right." So he goes and he finds one of the residents of the town who's a Native American who's also a criminal on the run, and he's like, "You know the earth. Where would I find red mud around here?" And the guy's like, "Oh, well, you would find it here." And He goes to investigate and finds out it's a meth house, because why else would people getting so much Sudafed? Right, you use it to make meth. Nobody uses Sudafed for allergies anymore.
That's what I use heroin for.
Exactly. So while he's there, he gets found out, and somebody pulls a shotgun on him, tries to kill him. He runs away, still gets shot in the side, but not mortally wounded. But what he recognized when the guy held the gun is a crosshair tattoo on the guy's arm. Well, that was the same tattoo that happened to be on the guy whose house he went to deliver the Sudafed letter. So now he's made the connection. So he goes and he tells his parents, who are in charge of town, hey, this guy is making meth, da-da-da. The parents are like, all right, well, we're going to kill him. That's the way they solve things. They just kill anybody.
Okay.
But
I'm
it's
on
done,
board so
it's
far.
done in front of the entire town. So everybody comes into the town hall, and they're like, all right, you know, you're doing something that could get us caught. We have this perfect thing going on where the cops can't find us. The FBI has not found us so far, and you're drawing attention by making meth. Dead. They walk out of the town hall, and the kid finds another dead body in the middle of the road. Nobody recognizes the person. Nobody knows who it is. So now they are going to get attention drawn to them because somebody who's not part of the town and not part of the whole agreement to stay quiet has been brought into their town and killed.
So I'm super curious about this. It sounds really good, but who writes it?
Let me look at it because I don't recognize the name. I feel like there was Matt Hawkins. Matt Hawkins was part of the original initial Image Comics launch.
Yeah.
So he has been president and COO of Top Cow since '98. This is published by Top Cow, by the way.
Okay. That makes
It's
sense.
the only thing I read from Top Cow. Or I don't read anything normally from Top Cow, but I found this. So some of his credits include Think Tank, Necromancer, Vice, Lady Pendragon, and Aphrodite 9.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Artist, or one of the other writers is Brian Hill. The artist is Isaac Goodhart, and the color is Betsy Gonia. And then letter Troy Peteri.
So what do you say? You recommend it?
Absolutely. Like, honestly, I feel like I didn't give it a good enough review because I read it and I'm like, I am hooked into this right away.
Awesome.
One of the cool things that they do also in the back of it, which I haven't read through all these yet, is they actually give profiles of some of the residents of the town, along with their rap sheet, what they're wanted for, and that sort of thing. So they're introducing you to town. They're building a world. And that's one of the things I enjoy. That's one of the reasons I like, like Lazarus and things like that, because he builds a world just beyond the story even.
No, that sounds awesome. I might download it for the flight.
Okay.
Well, that is it for us this week, episode 23. We will be back next week. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Between now and then, I will probably throw up another shot of culture.
I'll try to do the same myself.
Okay.
Guys, have a great week.
See you next time.